Hello everyone, I hope so you will be fine. My name is Dr. Abid and I teach environment and ecology in GS Score. I welcome to all of you in GS Score. As you know that GS Score has started a wonderful series for serious UPSC aspirant. In this series, we continuously providing different kind of things which is very important for UPSC mains examination. During this series, we are giving you some kind of different things that how to understand the question and how to break the question and how to find out the best concept behind concept of the question. After the discussion of the concept, we will discuss the model answer. And I will tell you how to write the best answer and how to understand the question carefully. You know that time has changed. And UPSC is demanding a analytical based question, means conceptual, factual, analytical based questions. Getting my points? So now it's time to discuss and it's time to take the different responsibilities regarding the question. Today we will discuss solid waste from the GS paper 3rd environment and ecology, and I will tell you this is the question and how to understand the question, how to write the best answer, and how to choose the different and important words, and how to avoid the unnecessary words, and how to avoid the extreme views, and how to avoid the rubbish thing. Getting my points? So this class is going to be a very fruitful for you. Stay tuned. This is the question from 2018. You will find out that what are the impediments disposing the huge quantities of discarded solid waste which are continuously being generated. You know that it has two parts basically. This is the first part, and first part is talking about impediment disposing the huge quantities of discarded solid waste. The question is directly coming from the solid waste. You know that time has changed. Everyone has a mobile, laptop, और भी कुछ है, हाँ, computer, number of things, which are continuously being generated. There is no doubt. This is the current scenario of every Indian city. And how do we remove safely the toxic waste that have been accumulated in our habitable environment? Second part is talking about how do we remove safely the toxic waste that have been accumulated in our habitable environment. You know that when we talk about our habitable environment, so now it becomes a very serious topic that you have to remove the toxic waste safely. Now you have to understand the question, the demand of the question and concept of the question. Let's take a look. Here are the two important things. The first, break the question into two parts. The first part is talking about what are the impediments to disposing of large amount of solid waste. What kind of impediments? We have to discuss. And second part is talking about how do we safely remove toxic waste from our environment, which we have discussed in the question. अब क्या करना है यहाँ पर? Each part must be answered separately but cohesively and given adequate weight in your answer. Means we have two different parts, but we have to give the answer cohesively. Getting the points? Now we have to find out the directive words. These are the directive key words. The first is that, as we know that maximum times UPSC uses directive words to guide the style of your responses. What are? Means descriptives, list and briefly explains. Whenever you see the what are kind of things, definitely the demand is coming from the descriptive. You know that you have to describe, list and briefly explain. Next one, the question is saying how do we remove? One of the most important thing means you have to be analytical. You have to take the analytical approach. Solution देना है आपको. Means solution oriented things. So what kind of approaches we can adopt during the solving the question? Next one, approaches. Look, the first approach is that describe the challenges. What are the challenges? Part 1 is talking about challenges. Then suggested viable solution. Part 2 means solution, and here's the viable solution with a focus on feasibility, policy, and environmental sustainability. These all are the important things. You know that we have to discuss what kind of policies, what kind of environmental sustainability we have to adopt. And whenever we talk about the policies from the global to the national to the state or district level, we have to discuss policy, programs, schemes, treaties. These all are the important things. Now let's discuss another important phase of the question. Why you must understand the question fully. Look, avoid irrelevance. I have already told you that we have to avoid the irrelevant things. Getting points means we have to focus only on demand of the question. Next one you will find get maximum marks means how we can get the maximum marks when we understand the question carefully or fully. That time we can get the full marks. Seriously. Impress with structure, meet UPSC analytical demands. These all are things. Means currently we can say that UPSC is testing your ability to find out the think critically, link multiple dimensions, suggest practical solutions. Always remember, these 3 words are the best things for your preparation or your answer writing. Means the UPSC is testing your ability to find out. Think critically means you have to be a different person. You have to think, and you have to think different, and you have to think critically, and how to criticize and how to understand these questions or dimensions क्या हो सकते हैं. Next one, link multiple dimensions. आपको करना पड़ेगा. This is your duty. Next one, suggest practical solutions. ये तो रहने ही वाला है. इसमें आप case study और examples को भी add कर सकते हैं. Now let's move toward the model answer. Now we will find out with this, as you know that we will start our answer from introduction, main body, and conclusion. These are the 3 simple categories of the question. So we are going to start our answer from the introductions. Here are the hardly 4 lines, okay, from the introduction side. Let's check one by one. So you know that the rising rate of urbanization, this is the one thing, industrialization, and population growth has led to exponential generation of solid and hazardous waste in India. Getting my points? Number of times we have discussed during classes that urbanization is taking place rapidly. In 2011, almost 31.6% urbanized. हम उस वक्त थे. Next, you know that industries are growing. That was the reason taking industrializations. And next one, population. So you can find out these all kind of things that happening in our society, and they are highly responsible for solid waste. तो यहाँ पर चीजें अलग नजर आती हैं. And now we have one of the most important body regarding the pollution, Central Pollution Control Board or State Pollution Control Board. अब CPCB क्या कह रहा है? India generates over 1,60,000 tons of solid waste daily. अब इतना हम daily generate कर रहे हैं. A significant portion of which is mismanaged. Effective waste disposal is not merely a logistic issue but a pressing environmental public health concern. So we quoted CPCB statement and data. Number 1 line, in the first line we discussed the causes, in second we discussed the CPCB data. In the last one you will find out that effective waste disposal is not merely logistically issue but pressing environmental and public health concern. So now you can easily find that we finished our introduction in just 4 lines, and each and every line have a different and the most important words and different definitions. Getting my points? So यही आपको follow करना है that you have to avoid irrelevance, ठीक है, things, words, unnecessary words, extreme views, बकवास, rubbish things, सारी बकवास आपको खत्म करनी है. You have to choose only the important words for introduction. चलिए, now let's move toward the man body. So now you can understand impediment in disposing large quantities of solid waste. What are the impediments? Number one, inadequate infrastructure. You know that each and every Indian city currently facing number of challenges: waterlogging, house shortage, traffic, short of electricity, infrastructure, crime, number of things, solid waste management. ठीक है, ये सारी चीजें हम वहां देखते हैं. तो most cities lack engineered landfills, waste to energy plants, modern composting facilities. Unscientific dumping leads to leachate contamination and vector-borne diseases. You know that I added number of things regarding the infrastructure. In second term, I added the poor segregation at sources. Yes, lack of awareness, enforcement result in mixed waste, reducing recyclability and increasing treatment cost. I added the one of the most important thing regarding poor segregation sources. किसी भी शहर में चले जाओ आप, एक शहर में बहुत सारे शहर होते हैं. There are number of cities in a single city. अमीर, MIG, LIG, these all kind of things you will find out there, and some number of things are also available over there, unauthorized colonies and slum areas. So you will find out there the poor segregation at sources are different things. जो हाई लेवल की कॉलोनीज है वहां पर आपको बिल्कुल क्लियर नजर आएगा, सब एक रूल फॉलो करती हुई चीजें वहां नजर आएंगी. बट व्हाट अबाउट द LIG एंड अनऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनीज एंड झुग्गी झोपड़ी, यू विल फाइंड आउट नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स. तो यहां पर हमने क्या, पुअर सेग्रीगेशन एट सोर्सेस. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट वन, फाइनेंशियल कॉन्स्ट्रेंट. यू नो दैट वी आर अ डेवलपिंग नेशन एंड वी हैव वेरी ह्यूज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू रिमूव द सॉलिड वेस्ट. सो वी नीड अ फंड. पेरिस एग्रीमेंट भी इसमें पढ़ लेना अच्छे से. तो अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज ऑफ्टन लैक द फंड्स एंड स्किल्ड मैन पावर टू मैनेज वेस्ट साइंटिफिकली. आज भी गटर साफ करते हुए लोग आप देखेंगे तो मैनुअल पावर यूज होती है, मशीन नहीं हो रही है. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. वीक पॉलिसी इंप्लीमेंटेशन. वन ऑफ द मतलब थर्ड मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट वीक पॉलिसी इंप्लीमेंटेशन. Although rules like solid waste management rules 2016 exist, implementation remains fragmented and inconsistent. You know that why we have a most difficult challenge, that political willpower and weak enforcement of law means permanent executive or temporary executives. एक ही हैं दोनों ये. Public apathy and low awareness. Community participation in waste management is minimal due to lack of environmental literacy, behavior inertia. I added infrastructure, poor segregation, financial, weak policy, public apathy, and last, informal sector challenges. While informal waste pickers continue to recycling, they lack safety, recognition, and integration into formal systems. Now you will understand. I selected the 6 important things और ये 6 के 6 पॉइंट्स को मैंने अच्छे से डिस्कस किया है. So just imagine how I added the number of, ठीक है, important things in my man body. Next one, let's talk about the second part of the question, safe removal of accumulated toxic waste. How can we do this? Toxic waste include, you know that, you have to remember the name of, take a toxic waste like heavy metals, electronic waste, biomedical waste, chemical effluents which pose long-term risk to soil, water, air and human health. So number one, scientific remediation techniques. I am giving a solution. ठीक है, remediation and phyto remediation using microorganism or plant to absorb or degrade toxics. This is the another important thing. Soil washing and stabilization used to treat contaminated industrial sites. This is the another important things regarding scientific remediation techniques. When I finish the scientific remediation techniques, I discuss secure hazardous waste facilities. Look, engineered treatment, storage and disposal. Facilities are essential for safe long-term storage treatments. I mention another important solution. In C, regulation and monitoring, I find out another important thing, that strict enforcement of hazardous and other waste. ये मैंने आपको बता दिया है that we have a very weak enforcement of law will. Real time monitoring of waste generator, ये बहुत important है, real time monitoring of waste generator. Next one, e-waste management, strengthening extended producer responsibility norms under the e-waste rules 2022. Public-private partnership. Next one, leveraging private sector innovation and efficiently handling hazardous waste technologies. Now you will notice that in the second part of the question, basically I give the number of solution and suggestions. I mention there are the 5 important suggestions from the scientific remediation, secured hazardous waste facilities, regulation and monitoring, e-waste management, and public-private partnership. These all 5 points have a different things. Getting my points? Now let's move toward the conclusion. You can easily notice that here the only just are the 4 lines, and how we discuss or how we selected the word. Let's understand. Look, effective solid and toxic waste management require a multi-pronged approach. There is no doubt. I mentioned the multi-pronged approach involving policy enforcement, technology innovation, citizen engagement, capacity building at local level. You know that I never discuss this option a local level in my main body, but I am going to discuss this local level in the introduction. And you know that I use the different kind of words in my conclusion. I never repeated the word which I used in the main body. So ये भी आपको याद रखना है. The path forward must align with the principle of circular economy, sustainable development, and intergenerational equity, ensuring a cleaner and safer environment for current and future generation. Now you can easily understand here the 4 lines, and I totally use the different kind of words. In the last 2 lines, I give you some important suggestions regarding the solid waste management. Getting my points? Look, circular economy, sustainable development, and intergenerational equity, ensuring a cleaner and safer environment for current and future generation. ये मैंने discuss किया है. So now you can easily understand how we are going to give you the best things regarding the answer writing. यही आपको follow करना है during practices. You have to understand the question carefully, and you have to write the answer with the important words. Please avoid the unnecessary words. Please avoid the extreme views. Please avoid the irrelevant words. Getting my points? And one and most important thing, please understand the question carefully and try to break down the question. Okay? See you soon. Take care.